Hello, everyone. I should say hello, Hearties and Sleuthers, or sleuthing Hearties. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting how this is all developing. But I feel like I am talking, and I'm not sure if you heard me or not because I can't see. I know people are here, but my little eye that tells me everyone that's here, I can't tell yet. So let's just real quick say hi to each other. What do we have? Oh, Avis is here. Oh, Avis. Avis, you were so hilarious last night. My goodness, I loved it. Arlene's here and Sharon. Hi, and Martha and Susan. And I'm having a little glitch. Could you hold on 1 minute and I will be right back? Okay, I'm good. Sorry about that. It was an audio thing. All right. So, hello everyone. We'll be hello everyone. We'll be with you as long as my granddaughter will let me. I get that. I get that. I get that. Ooh, Bonnie in Chicago. Bonnie, Chicago's jumping. Isn't that where the Democratic convention is? You probably are extra crowded, right? Lots going on over there. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to get started. And it's always so weird when I'm by myself. So I've got all of you for company. I'm going to need your help on this. So the point of this was I was just playing around with words. And what I'm saying is just tongue in cheek for some of this stuff because there's like two parts, actually three parts to this. The first part is how cool is it that we have six cast members from When Calls the Heart that have been in mystery movies starting, I guess it was like, I guess we could call it late winter, early spring up until tomorrow, Friday, right? The summer. And I hope we get more because it's my favorite genre. I love mysteries to read. I'm a big reader. I love mystery books. And I mean, I was a big Nancy Drew. I got a whole, like a little story about that, but that's for another time. Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden, back in the day, I would be under my, covers literally with my flashlight reading. And my mother would be like, put it down. You got to go to bed kind of thing. And then I like them as a movie. And then, of course, romance is next. But I love mysteries. And I like when they combine the two, too. But anyway, I think it's so cool that we have several cast members that are starring in these three mysteries. So I'm going to cover the three mysteries, not in detail. What I'm really doing is just talking a little bit about them, some of the things that I know about them, only because maybe you haven't watched them. And I feel I definitely know the first two that I'll be talking about, which already have premiered, are really worth the watch. So if you haven't taken the time to watch them, you should. And the third one, I'm sure, is going to be just as spectacular. That's coming out on the Mystery Channel on Friday. And then the next part that I wanted to discuss is just the mysteries, because that got my wheels turning. The mysteries of Hope Valley. There are many. I just picked out some of my favorites. And I would like to have your 2 cents in. We're going to be speculating. That's where the tongue in cheek kind of thing comes. I don't want anyone to stumble upon this podcast and hear me saying this and I'm like tearing them down like they're ridiculous because they have these mysteries of what's happening. We know things happen and we could talk about that as we talk about it. And then the third part is I'm going to give you some information of things that are to come. Talking about the Hallmark Now Plus. And I'm also going to talk about a podcast that I will be hosting on Friday. And I have a Hallmark mystery expert coming on, and he has no connection whatsoever to When Calls the Heart. And he'll be doing a review of all three, but we'll get to that at the end. Okay. So, you love who? What is it, Lillian? I love Agatha Christie, Sue Grafton. Yes, Sue Grafton. Oh, goodness. Sue Grafton is good, isn't she? I'm not saying Agatha Christie isn't good, but Sue Grafton is really good. You like mysteries too? Yes, my favorite genre. I love them. Hi, Bryce. How are you? I hear Bryce and some of the others, I'm not sure who else, will be going up to the Hearty reunion that's happening soon. So that'll be cool can you take pictures for us? And I mean of each other. I mean, I'm sure you may or may not be allowed to take pictures of the cast and the set. I get that, but of each other. I would love that. Say hi to each other because you get to know each other this way. Um, Christina, you love mysteries too? Me too. Me too. Me too. All right. So I am going to start off. I'm going to have my, when I'm by myself, this helps me. I'm going to put up, I hope it doesn't annoy you, some pictures just to get me started. So close your eyes because I put this out of order, but close your eyes because I don't want anyone to get dizzy. Teresa, you love mysteries too? Good. All right. We're going to start right here. This is with the newest mystery. I am excited for this newest mystery. Bryce says, I think pictures just weren't allowed last year because of the strike. We should be able to for this year. Well, good. Whatever you can do, please do. Have you ever watched Ripper Street, Jack the? Yes, I have, Jean. It is so good. So good, so good. Bryce says, okay, yes, it's his first Hearties reunion. Good. Take pictures. All right, now here we are. So this comes out tomorrow, or does it? I've got a piece of info, and I hope Hallmark doesn't get me it, but it's out there, so I'm going to talk about it, okay? There's a thing called Plex, Plex. It is free streaming, and the reason why they're allowed to keep it free is because they have lots of ads. But I just saw when I was prepping for this, and I went and I researched it, and it looks like it's true, that tonight on Thursday, I think at midnight it drops this Nellie Knows. So if you for some reason don't have the Hallmark Mystery Channel or you can't wait to watch, you can watch on Plex for free. And I thought that was cool. Just a little fun thing I found along the way. All right. Bryce says that he is looking forward to the Nellie Knows mystery. I am too. And the reason why I am is we already know that these two main characters, Kevin and Pascal, have wonderful chemistry. And I don't know if you had the opportunity today to watch the Hallmark Live. If you've missed it, you can go to YouTube. You can say Hallmark Live, Nellie Knows, and the two of them will pop up. Um, it's a fabulous podcast because the two of them are just themselves and they're hilarious in the things that they say to each other. And of course, Hallmark Mysteries gives them the questions and they're asking each other, which can be awkward. But these two are friends for years off camera and they're wonderful scene partners. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is their fourth movie that they've been in together. And a fun fact about this one, it was good. Martha's saying she watched it and she said it was good. And if you have a chance, I'm sorry, I lost Martha. If you have a chance, watch it. I got sidetracked. I don't know how. Yes, fourth movie. And one of their fun facts was they waited 6 years to get into a mystery. And it's not that they're like, oh, we were just so picky uni, and they were making fun of themselves. And it's not like nobody wanted them. It just never really fell into their lap. And I think it's Kevin who found out about it first and he loved it. And then they tease about the title and the name. But it has a wonderful cast. And I put that little board up there because it shows some of the cast members. And one of the cast members is Morgana Wiley, who I love. She is oh my God, she is a fabulous actress. And she's been in, if I had to think off of the top of my head, if it's connected to When Calls It Heart. Do you remember the one with Tyler Hines and Aaron Krakow? It was always you. She plays she's like the dental hygienist, and she falls in love with who her character was supposed to marry. She's got like reddish hair and they're dancing, which is funny. She's been in a lot of other things. She's in The Darlings. She's the doctor in The Darlings. She was in The Blessing Bracelet. I've had her on several times. She's just excellent. And if you have an opportunity to go back and look through any of my chats with her, you should, because she's really good. Yes, Lillian, they waited a long time to do a mystery as Lee and Rosemary waited to have a baby. It's true, which I think is funny. So they have a really great cast. I think Wong, is it Henry Wong? Harry Wong? He's in it. He always has a cool little part. Okay, so we've got our two here, which we know they have wonderful chemistry. And it's not too much of a stretch, I think, for Pascal, because remember when she had a advice column. And and when she was Rosemary and she first started out, well, she has an advice column in this one too, and he plays a detective, Kevin. So that's how the two of them get together, which I find kind of ironic because the males in all three of these movies are the detectives. Wouldn't it be if you flipped it around? Like, I would have loved it if he had an advice column and she was the detective. Like, switch it around a little. But all the males were the detectives. Yes, just saying. Just saying, Hallmark. Bryce, what's Bryce saying here? Let's see. Bryce is saying a little bit of It Was Always You trivia. If you haven't already noticed, Erin's character's patient, yep, is played by Ben Rosenbaum. You are correct. I did know that, and that's cool. Thank you for sharing that, Bryce. So, if you didn't know about it, I mean, you'd have to be like living under a rock, as they say, if you're a Hallmark person. I love these two around the corner. Look how cute she's dressed too. Um, it's tomorrow. It's 9 o'clock Central, and it's on the movie Mystery. And it would be great if we could get it to trend. That would be really cool. Let's see now. Cindy saying, interesting that both this movie and Tip Line have a kitten involved. I know. There are Nelson. Thank you. Nelson Wong. Thank you, Lillian. That you are correct. They do. And there are some other similarities, but we're going to talk about that on Friday's podcast when my friend, the Hallmark mystery expert, he's like all numbers. He reminds me of you, Bryce, with your numbers and facts. And Lillian, you don't forget anything. You're like a data person and a name person. You got that kind of brain. He'll be sharing his thoughts on Sunday, which is why I'm having this on Thursday. Okay, so again, it is tomorrow unless you've got Plex. Even if you're not interested in seeing it that early, check out Plex. Plex is kind of cool. All right, now the next one that we've got, I guess that's why I work on, okay, IT. Very good. Yes, he is. He works in IT. All right, so something else I wanted to show you. I got this straight off my TV, so you know what I'm talking about here. If you all go to your TV and you say Nellie Knows Mystery, you're going to see that it's upcoming, and it tells you season 1, episode 1, the fatal engagement. And then you also see this, you see this first. And this first is it says episodes. I'm sorry, I have another glitch happening with my volume. Hold on. All right, we're good. Okay, I know it's glitchy tonight. So interesting that both this movie and Tip. Oh, okay, I forgot to take that off. So it appears that there are going to be more, and I really do think that they changed the title of the mystery. It's instead of mystery movies, it's just mysteries, which I love. And also on their new channel, that their new streaming, they're going to have more mysteries. That's what they were saying in the description. So that makes sense. That's pretty cool. All righty, gives me hope. Now we've got Tip Line. And anybody here not see Tip Line? Who's seen Tip Line? If you've seen it and you love it, tell us what it is that you loved about it that would make somebody want to watch it. If you don't love it, that's okay. You'll have a chance to talk about that on Sunday. But I'm just curious. It shows on my TV 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, did I say something out of turn? Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Did I say it wrong? That's tomorrow, right? Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yes, they do. Oh, you hope they have more Tip Line mysteries. Well, I'm going to show you something, Cindy. Anyway, this is another When Calls the Heart. So this is number 3. This is Chris. And I love this. If you go along, one of the things I loved was this was a mystery and a comedy. It was not a rom-com. There was no romance in it at all. Does it have potential to have romance? I'm sure it does. But it was just, that's one of the things that I really liked about it. And it takes place in a big city. And I love that it takes place in a big city because after a while, when all these bodies keep showing up or crime keeps showing up in these sweet little towns, I'm like, really? It's not a little sweet town anymore. So, and then I love that. I know there's a suspension of reality with that. Sandy says she's late. Hi, Sandy. Yes, Martha's saying that Tipline, Holland, and Chris have great chemistry. So that's one of the reasons why she's putting it out there in case you wanted to say it. I'm sorry, Jean, I said Central because in my head I was seeing 9/8 Central, and I should have said 9 Eastern. I apologize. Okay, thank you for catching that. They do. They have great chemistry, and if you like cats and are an animal lover, you'll want to watch this. Seen it and love that it kept me guessing. Good, Arlene. It kept you guessing. You didn't know right away. And Arlene's a smart girl. She's always she's out there savvy, watching and all the time, gives us little tidbits. So it kind of had Arlene guessing, which is good. Ava says, I have watched many times. Chris and Holland are like a yin and a yang that work. Chris had a dry humor, but his physical stunts and running were great. You know what? Christina's seconding that, and that I have to tell you, that's a fun fact. When we had the directors on, and if you haven't seen that, I had they were a mother-daughter team. They're great to catch up on. They told us all kinds of cool stuff and a lot of behind the scenes fun things that made you go back to watch a show with different eyes. One of the things was Chris did a lot of his own stunts, and he did this whole running scene, and he was fast and he was good, and they kept it in as much as they had. As a matter of fact, they said he was a little too fast, but they didn't want to not keep it in. So that's a pretty cool thing. And it trended twice. We got it to trend when it came out on Hallmark Movies Now, and then we got it to trend again when it came on the Mystery Channel. So there are a lot of people out there who love the actors and love the storyline. Susan says, loved Chris and how he showed off different sides of his acting. I loved it. Chris and Holland had great chemistry. I agree, Arlene. It kept me guessing until the end. So this is good for anyone who's never had a chance to see it. So we've got Kevin Smith and Pascal. I'm sure they're going to knock it out of the park. And then we have Chris. I think that's my opinion, that he did really, really well. Now, the other one, and I was just watching it again because I haven't seen it in such a while. Hi, Margie, you're late. It's okay. You can catch up later. Oh, before I go on, this is a fun fact. If you don't know, some of the scenes from Tipline are in the actual newsroom. This newspaper has a real tip line, and when it goes in and it shows the wall of going into the building and the people, those are real live people that work there, which is kind of cool. And we've done a review on this, I think, with the Chris McNally peeps. So again, when you say Tipline Mysteries, you're going to see that there's a season 1, episode 1 that comes up. And this was what you'll see first, where it says episodes. Then when you click it, you have this. So there's hope that we will get more. And when we were talking to the directors, they said that they set it up and they filmed it like we would get more. That doesn't mean that they will, but they're in hopes that they would. So it's something to check out. Now we have The Legend of the Lost Locket. Now for this one, I didn't see other episodes come up when I asked for it, like on my demand. But I will tell you this: if you have Hallmark Movies Now, it's on there. You can watch it. And yes, Detective Beeks, that's his name, Dawson Beeks, and Tipline. This is a small town storyline. It's visually appealing. It was unique that it started with a flashback and it had a Bridgerton vibe. And I find it funny because when this came out, and this, of course, is Viv and Natasha, who have wonderful chemistry, who are the executive producers for this. They're EPs on this. And it's a wonderful story. It truly is. I'm hoping you could get more. The way they set this up, you absolutely could get more. And she gets to keep her English accent. And when they first premiered this, Hallmark was having a little Bridgerton vibe, and they do too. They have a costume period and everything. So there's the two of them together, and they're cute. Their meet cute is really cute. There are a lot of like antiques and things that are supposed to be antiques that are if you're into antiques, you're going to love this. That just make the whole town and the actual movie very appealing and fun. Let's see. Margie says, I think Legend of the Lost Locket was very good. Love these two. It was a good movie. I really liked the movie and loved hearing Natasha's real accent. I know. And anyone else who watched it, whatever it is that you liked about it, that would be great if you shared, because then it might, get someone else to watch it. Um, I think I kind of covered. Oh, there's a cottage. Help me out, Lillian and friends. And I didn't have a chance two times when I first watched it and just recently. I didn't have a chance to research this. When she comes to the town, Natasha's character, she stays at a cottage, and the cottage looks so familiar. And it's supposed to be like a bed and breakfast. And I'm like, where is this building? And I'm trying to figure out where I saw it. And I was like, is this the same cottage that showed up in the movie that Brendan Penny and Aaron Krakow were in? I don't know. There's just something familiar about it. Jennifer, you haven't watched it. Well, listen, Jennifer, take the time to watch it. If you don't have Hallmark movies now, I think it's coming. Is it coming on again? I forget. I do know that if you can't DVR or catch Nellie Knows, you can get it on Plex, like I said, but it's also coming on the Mystery Channel. It'll come on this Sunday, the following the Friday at 7. This is 7 Eastern. And then next Saturday, the 31st at 7 Eastern. I don't know. Tip Line's coming on. Is it today? Was it on or tomorrow? It'll be on soon. You can also catch, like I said, Legends on Hallmark Movies now. It is the same cat. Thank you, Carrie, because I was wondering. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Carrie's another one for those facts. Martha beat you to the answer. They're saying, yes, the wedding cottage. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Have not seen it. Well, Avis, that you should go because it's really cute. It's very good. Look who's in it with them. This is the sixth actor from When Calls the Heart. Look who it is. It's Ned. And that's his wife, and they're all dressed in a costume. It's not from back in the day. They're having like a ball, and you'll see more of them dressed, and they do the formal dancing, and everyone looks lovely. And if you're into that, that time, and it doesn't have to really be Bridgerton. I mean, Jesus, that's modern stuff, but it's fun. It could be Jane Austen. Let's see. Jennifer says, have HMN, just haven't had time. Both live. Love both the actors. Okay. What's it say? Chuck and I checked out the area when where the cottage was located, and we saw the roof. Okay, gotcha. Good, because that was the first thing that hit me in my mind. I'm like, and both times I wasn't able to check it out. Okay, so before I move on to the mysteries of Hope Valley, I wanted to talk about Chip. This is Chip. It says, if you can, I don't know how you can see all of the writing, but it's on August 25th. He has notes he has no connection to When Calls the Heart. He's never watched it. He knows nothing about it. But he knows a lot about the Hallmark mysteries, and he's the Hallmark mystery expert. And he'll be sharing his thoughts on all three, compare and contrast. Now, nobody get your nose out of a joint, where it's just his opinion and he's looking at it objectively. Because, we got even though we love all of them, because all 6 of them are from a show that we adore or may not adore, but it is a show that we know about. And with these characters, many of us know, he's looking at it with different eyes, which I think would be objective and fun. Okay, so now, I don't know if anyone has any questions about this, but I'm going to exit from my little tutorial. Thank you, students. Take a sip of water. And I'm going to ask this question. Out of the 3, only if you saw all 3, which one was your favorite? Don't tell me the why, because I'm hoping you'll come in on Sunday and watch. And if you can't come Sunday, it always posts and you can add your comments and we respond. But out of the 3, if you've seen all 3, which is your favorite? Tip line. Well, you haven't seen all 3. What am I talking about? Which out of the 2? Tip line and Legend of the Locket, those 2. Which one did you like better? Or maybe you like something about each of them. I'm not sure. Which one would you be looking forward to watching again? Now, Susan, Bonnie, and Jennifer, you're all saying tip line. Is it because of Chris? Because I love watching, like I love Brad Pitt. Anything Brad, I don't care if Brad Pitt's walking down the street. I'm watching him walking down the street. Okay. I don't care if he's doing a commercial about clippers, nose clipper, hair clippers. I'm watching the commercial. Okay. I love Harry Styles. Any movie he's in, he's been in some weird movies. I'm still going to watch. Okay. Okay. Carrie said lock it. Interesting. I would watch both of them again. And you love Lockett's costume. So did I. Agree on Brad Pitt. So listen, I'm going to give my opinion right now for the two. I would have to watch both because there was something that I loved in both. I mean, seriously, they were very different, had a different vibe, a different feel. Um, One was a little more serious and fanciful than the other. Like I love both. Margie's saying I really enjoyed both of them because there was a lot to love in each, and I agree. I agree. And here's the fun thing about both of those, or the good thing: they were really good actors. They did a good job. I like when I forget that they're acting, and it's not too much. It's authentic. Let's see. Sandy says, yes. I love both Lockett and Tipline, but of course I'll watch Chris in anything. Yes. Yep. And I get that. Because of Chris, and it was good. Okay. Good to know. It's good to know. If someone stumbles across this podcast, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. All right. So here we go now to the mysteries of Okay. Arlene said she liked, I agree with that. I liked a lot of the Hallmark Channel movies have seemed kind of lackluster to me recently, but both of these mysteries were very well done. Yes, and that's a different channel. And I feel like they have a different formula and they're allowed to do a little bit more, something different, than what's okay for the actual Hallmark channel. Arlene was saying I like Tip Line more because the flow of the mystery was smoother. Okay. All right. So now I got to add back to here. Close your eyes. I got to go backwards again. Close our eyes. Everyone close their eyes, me included. So what I wanted to do is talk about the mysteries of Hope Valley. Okay. Now, help me out here, friends. Timmy, here's a mystery. Who were Timmy's parents? When did we ever meet Timmy's parents? Where are they? Why does this child show up all over town in the at school and we just never see his parents? Like that's a mystery. And I know it's like creative license, and I know they can't write a whole story for him. They don't have to, but I don't even care if we saw a door opening and Timmy walking out and saying bye mom or bye dad, or a hand or a silhouette. They have these background actors that they can, I don't know, it disturbs me. I don't know. I don't know. Marchie says I think most of the children seem to be orphans. I know. Who are Toby's? Wait, even talk about Toby. He's our new character. And what do we know? Where does Toby live in? One of the row homes out in the center of town over, I don't know, over the infirmary? Is there an upstairs to the, where does he bunk with Mike? He's getting married now. Like, where does that kid live? Does he pitch a tent by the springs? We don't know. This is killing me. Kurt and Wilma Lawson. Yeah, well, where are they, Carrie? What happened to them? Just like over here. Look at Emily. This is probably from season 1. And she's the middle child, I think. Or she was the baby. I thought she was the middle child. Look at her brothers. Where did they go? Where is her mother? Yes, Lillian. Toby lives with Timmy's parents. Okay. We saw Timmy's parents when they first came to Hope Valley, and once or twice after that. Yes, we did, Bryce, because they were part of that flood. Remember the flood and the families that were living out there, but what happened to them, I don't know. I think his younger sister was Maggie, wasn't it? Yes. Anyway, Timmy's mom was the one who bought a dress, then returned it. Yes, and yes. Jennifer, I like visuals and details. I know. I'm just saying, We just have to see the back of the head of someone. I mean, good gravy. Put me in 92 different dresses and whatever, and I'll be all their parents and wigs and you could I'll do that for free, Hallmark Winkle's art. That'll be my job. I'll retire from teaching and I'll be on set and I'll don a different wig and I'll run around, I'll be like, come on, time for dinner, or oh, let me see your report card. But oh, wait, you haven't been in school all season. Okay. So anyway, what happened to Emily's mother? What happened to her brothers? She's really an orphan. Uh-huh. Yes, and he said that she gave her a pattern. Didn't we meet Timmy's dad once? Wasn't his dad the one that locked the gate so Lee couldn't get in to cut his wood? We have not seen them in 100,000 years, and maybe it was him. I don't know. It says we did see a little bit of Kurt Lawson in a few episodes last season. We did. I know we saw a little bit of Laura's dad, but I don't know if we saw Timmy's dad. Again, remember, does he have a dad? Remember they were the people that were in that mudslide thing and they had to go out and help them and bring them into closer to town. That's when that accident happened with Jack and all that other stuff. All right. Now, Lillian, what did you share, Lillian? She said, Lillian, I didn't know that. Wait a minute, Lillian. Toby lives with Timmy's parents. For real? Are you joking or is that really true? And why does he? That's funny that you're saying that. I never picked up on that. Yes. Wasn't he the one who played the violin? I don't know about that. Yes, and we're getting to that next, Cindy. So we've met Opal's parents before. We even knew they existed because in the earlier episodes, Elizabeth agrees to take care of Opal. And then she even goes and visits Opal when Opal has chicken pox. And we've seen the mom or something, but we have not seen her forever. Do you remember when Opal got injured in the woods? Who was in the infirmary with the kids? Well, because Allie was involved, her father was there, and that would be Mountie Nathan, and Elizabeth was there. But what about her parents? Like your child's gone in the night in the woods and injured herself, and where is she? We could have said, just the mom just sent message or okay, she's at home. Okay, I can take care of it. I don't know. It just drives me insane. Oh, Lillian, you were joking. Okay. Oh, I'm getting to some of those things. We don't know where Henry lives. Well, we do know where Henry lives. Henry has always lived above the mayor's place. That's where he was always living. I don't know. We know Bill doesn't live up there because Bill one night had needed a ride home, and Lucas offered it to him after they were so upstairs is where Henry still lives. Martha, they're laughing. Okay. Okay. Now I have these two. They're children. We saw them for a blip. We hadn't seen them for a long time. Then when they got married, we saw them for a blip. And Flo's son is really young. What happened to him? Where'd he go? This is what I mean. This, like, people call it the black hole. And Kevin. Now, here's what I think is funny. Townsend, I think he's the blacksmith. Not only have it, we did all of a sudden he just disappeared. Now I had this gentleman on. Actually, is a movie coming out. He just posted it, and I think Lacey Chabert is in it, and Brendan is in it, and it's called His and Hers, and it comes out in September, the very first week of September. He was on, and he himself was like, "Yeah, it just wasn't there." They didn't even address it, and he was the blacksmith. Where's the blacksmith? The building. We haven't seen that in forever. And ever and ever and ever. Yes, you wish you knew where Lucas lived. Yes, so do I. How about what is the gift that Lucas gave Allie? We talked about that, like they were going to unearth it the next season, and no. And I even think Sarah, who was the set decorator, but now she's elevated to like set designer, she said there was kind of like a joke that went around, like all the different that box, and they kept talking. Oh, okay, that box was different things, and like what that they used as the gift that he handed to her. We never will know. And I want to know how Lucas gets his clothes and suits clean. Yeah, because is there a cleaner anywhere? And what happened to Kevin the blacksmith? We don't know. They didn't even mention him. So I think, yes, even Chris doesn't know. These are all these mysteries. So I'm going to come up to some things that I wrote down. Here's a mystery. I don't have a visual for it, but I wanted to do the people in case we forgot who those people were, especially that they were from back in the day. I'm going to remove that. How about the ring? Where's the ring that Lucas gave Elizabeth? What happened to the ring? I don't know what happened to Scout in the second half of the show. Nobody mentioned him either, Martha. But I have a question. What do you think happened to the ring? Do you think she kept it? Do you think she returned it? Do you think we'll ever find out? Where is it? What happened? Where's Lucas's motorcycle? He parked that somewhere. And it's not so crazy that we don't see the motorcycle, but there are bigger things that we need to see, like the entire family of Emily is gone. And also a big thing like a Kevin, he just disappears and we don't see any like the mention of him. You know what I mean? What happened to Jack's land? We know it's there. Yes, no one goes to the dentist. This is true. But those are things that some of those things we can just overlook, but some of them, I don't know. Is she still using does he still use the watch? I think we saw his pocket watch. I don't know. Oh, she threw it in the pond? Good gravy. I hope she didn't throw it in the pond. And what about that hanky? The hanky that fell in the beginning, her little handkerchief, it fell and they zeroed in on it. Was it a metaphor for something? I didn't figure that one out. Maybe I'm just not smart enough. I keep thinking it could surface for later, So could all these other things that we don't really see. And I feel like that we've said this so much that the powers that be have been paying attention. So they're better about like when someone suddenly disappears, they're better about mentioning them. When Clara and wasn't coming back and Jesse, Jack was all happy. Not Jack Wagner. Bill was very happy to get a letter and he read it out loud. And he mentioned her a few more times. But he mentioned Clara at all this last season? Gustav is not there, but they had somebody in the background singing. I think it was Peter DeLuise. And they mention him every time they can, but we don't see him anymore, right? And Carson gets mentioned, which is good every once in a while. And Laura gets mentioned, but I think they do that as nods because we're so aware of all these people that fall in these black holes. And I'm thinking, okay, there's so many things that we can talk about. She needs to give the ring back. I hope that you think they'll bring it up, or you think we're done. They're just not. Is it going to come where Nathan gives her a ring and she's going to be like, I never gave the ring back to Lucas? Are we going to see that? Where did Tom's dart come from? They acted like it was always there, but it never mentioned it before until the fire. That starts the dream, the handkerchief. Oh my God, Martha. Oh my God. I didn't know that there was any real significance to the hanky other than creative camera work to show that E had fallen asleep on the chair. True. We may have read too much into it. And Lucy's agreeing with you, Bryce. Okay. I got it. I think it's assumed that she gave the ring back. She should have since she broke the engagement. Okay. And Paul Green is going to audition on The Voice. He is? Oh, wow. All right. That's pretty cool. I like that. I didn't even know that. Okay. What about the cab? Okay. They have a cab that was taking people back and forth. I mean, Fiona rode in that cab more than anybody in that season. She kept going back and forth and fell asleep in it. Where's the cab now? I don't know. You saw an announcement about it yesterday. Well, good for him. Did Florence ever apologize to Lucas like she did to Henry? I don't know. No. Maybe the ring is with the handkerchief in a box somewhere. I know. What happened to Elizabeth being an author? We can't even get into all those things. Where's the bank? When they walk through town, is the bank even shown? Remember, like like nobody even goes to the bank. No one has to, like Lee with dropping off money. And remember, the bank was going to be robbed, and then the bank had to be saved. And then what happened to the bank? Yes, the book wagon. Yeah, we saw that for a hot minute, and that went bye-bye. What happened to that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So it's not just people that have disappeared and objects that have disappeared, places have disappeared, which is funny. And I get it, but we could, when they were so prominent and so important, like you could give a nod to it. The Canfields had to go out of town to get a loan. That's true. You're right. Yeah. Didn't they show an arts center once? What happened to that? Oh my God. What about the fire in the saloon? There was a big fire, but they never showed it being rebuilt and it was never mentioned again. Sandy, they did actually. So the fire wasn't really big. They said it was more smoke damage than anything. They said that at the end of the season that it happened in. And that gave them the reason to revamp it. Because when we see it the next year, they changed all kinds of stuff and they sort of have like a reopening and they have new I actually had the person who was the set designer on for it, and she and Sarah worked together, and she describes, because she built the springs, and she also came on and explained what happened with the saloon. So that's why it changed, more hotel-y. They talked about that. That I'm okay with. I actually like the way they handled that. So much for the show Bible. Actually, Linda, I think that all that information is in there, but it just never makes it into everyday script. And I know it's a huge undertaking. And I know that those writers, what they listen to this, it's a joke. We get it. But I love how they're going forward, trying to be a little more creative. Think about all the details that Sarah did when she created Lucas's office, and we were able to look in and speculate about his life, and they made most of that stuff come to life in the story. Now he doesn't have his office looking like that. Some of those things appeared in his new office, the one that was in Union City, but not half of the stuff wasn't there. And the same with Gowan's office. There was so much on his shelves, so many things, and we just don't see it anymore because it's now I don't know, what is it? It's a daycare. What about sorry, what happened with Abigail and Henry for the second time? They talked about that they had a really good visit. Just he went to visit her, and he was in a really good place, and it was a good thing, and he came back. He mentions that. Now they're going to have Capital City. Yeah, they're going to build that now. I know. They had a dentist's office, but no one ever went to the dentist. You are correct. So much for the okay. Lucas built the saloon back much more elegantly than it was before. Yes. Does someone run the gas station or is it self serve? Right. And whoever bought it, remember it got bought up and it was like a mystery as to who bought it. And then they never revisited that. I know. They even make gas station t shirts. I don't know. Just there are so many mysteries, and I thought it would be fun just to point them out and to speculate. So I want to know, because this is a good one. Where we know Bill lives in a row home because Molly does, and Molly said there were neighbors and she could see his unmentionables hanging on the line when he was constantly, like wearing his bathing suit and going down to the they made a little funny side joke about that, and he was going down to the springs, and so we know he lives there, but we have no idea where Lucas lives. So where do you think he does live? We know where Kevin lives. We know where basically almost everyone lives. What does it look like Lucas's house or his whatever? What does anybody have any ideas about that? Joseph wanted to buy the gas station. You are correct, but someone else bought it and we never saw that person. You are correct. Where do women get their dresses since Dottie closed? Out of town and they make them. Yep. Maybe they order their clothes from Sears and Roebuck. They could. How about the ridge Lucas went to? Yes, I know. It's still there. Well, I mean, we know the woods and all of that's there, and they've given nods to the woods in different ways. But what does you think Lucas's house is out there? I don't think Lucas's house is out there. And the women probably do make their own clothes too, and they have hand-me-downs, and they do swaps. Remember swap meets and help with each other. And there's always the mercantile where you can get more stuff from there and things sent in. That to me is kind of logical, but just certain things you just cannot like overlook. Um, I still think Lucas lived upstairs in the Queen of Hearts, but he would drive home and leave the Queen of Hearts. And I remember when he said, "Bill, I'll give you a lift. I'm going that way." He was going home. He wasn't going to see Elizabeth. So he's dropping off Bill. So he lives out that way. He lives in a house that Dottie, oh, that would make sense. Dottie's old house. Now he lives in the governor's mansion. Is there really a mansion? Where are Mike and May going to live? Well, Mike has his own little apartment and he always has. I remember when he was first moving in, there was a whole thing about moving furniture with Jesse and all of that. And so Mike has a little place and May is living upstairs over the cafe. They might live there. Jesse lived there and Clara, and they weren't the only people that lived there at the time. So I know that Faith lives there with Lily. So I don't know. That's interesting. Hmm. Mm. It would make sense for Lucas to live at the Queen of Hearts, but who knows? All right, Arlene. Not related, but you saw Mamie Leverock went home from the hospital last week, and yes, I saw that too, Arlene, which is wonderful. That was wonderful news because two terrible I don't know all the details, but she experienced two horrific things, one after the other, and she's okay and going home, which is nice. I saw that too. They're saying, when is the last time the students went on a field trip? I don't know. Those are all other things. But, there are certain mysteries I guess will never be resolved. We'll never know what happened to Emily's parents, and we're never going to know where Lucas lives, and we're never going to know what happened, what was the gift that Lucas gave to Allie. And you know what? Maybe they will years later. Who knows? How many bedrooms are upstairs above the cafe? As many as they want. As many as they feel like there are. They're laughing at you, Bryce. What did you say? Maybe Lucas sleeps on that tiny little couch in his office. He doesn't. Chris once said in an interview that he didn't know where he lived, but maybe he sleeps at the Queen. No, he didn't. I remember Chris saying he knows that he does not live upstairs at the Queen of Hearts, and he pointed out something that was said. So, no, I don't think so. They went on the trip in the woods with the windstorm, and I think that was the last one. What happened to Clayton, who was accused of shooting Lucas? Um, uh, I don't know. They're going on trial. I think we saw that. Who knows? I don't know if we'll hear more about that or not. The answer to all our questions is they fell into the Hope Valley black hole. Yes, Margie, that's what we always say. But I think they're listening, and that's why they give little nods every now and again and here and there, which is a good thing. All right, thank you. We've been here for 48 minutes, and it was fun, and I love coming up with all these cool ideas and pointing things out, and I don't know. I'm just excited for all these mysteries. And if someone different was going to star in a mystery, who do you think it would be? Who do you think the next actor will be from When Calls the Heart that will star in a mystery? I think it's going to be Aaron. I think they're going to give Aaron a mystery. What do you think? Who do you think would be the next actor? Just curious before we sign off and say goodnight. Let's see. I'm just looking it up. I know it takes a minute for a delay. We've got quite a few. Kevin McGarry, Martin Cummins. Yes, Jack Wagner. Oh, I would love Jack Wagner and some people are saying Aaron. Two people said Martin. He'd be fantastic. Why not Martin and Aaron together? Wouldn't that be cool? And this time I want Aaron or the female to be the detective or police officer, right? Martin or Jack. You know what I think is great? And this is not a mystery outside of When Calls the Heart. And I heard, if you have not watched Deck the Hallmark and their reviews of When Calls the Heart, you should, because sometimes they get off topic and that's okay. But they have some funny things, and they're in agreement with me. That golden team was Bill and Rosemary. I hope we see more of that in season 12. They were even like, oh, do a spinoff. They could have their own show. Oh my God, I think that's funny. All right. Good night, everyone. I hope that you tune in on Sunday when when my guest is going to give you his opinions and what he thinks about the three mysteries, and we can chat some more. All right. Good night.